She could have been yours. That girl you saw, the one with the curves, the eyes, the walk that made your chest tighten. Yeah, you could have had her, but you didn't, because of how you talk. Listen closely. Most men don't lose the girl because they're ugly, broke, or boring. They lose her the moment they open their mouth and speak like a man who doesn't believe he deserves her. Like a man who's trying not to offend, who's hoping she doesn't leave, who's terrified she'll see the truth, that he's not enough. But here's the secret no one told you. Women don't want a perfect man. They want a man who sounds like he knows exactly who he is and isn't waiting for her permission to be it. If your voice trembles when she gets quiet, if you ask more than you state, if your tone feels like you're tiptoeing around her mood, you're done. Game over. She might smile. She might even stay for a little while. But inside, she's drying up because her body only responds to certainty. And your words, your soft, unsure, overly careful words, are killing her attraction in silence. Let me tell you something real. The men getting the women you fantasize about, they're not always better looking. They're not richer. They speak differently. They speak like she's lucky to be chosen. Like her attention is a compliment, not a lifeline. They say things that command desire, not request affection. They lead, even in silence, and their words don't beg. They build. You don't need to change your body or your bank account. You need to change your language. Because if your voice doesn't turn her on, your body never will. This is Motivate Blessing. Drop a comment right now. I speak power into my relationships. Say it with your chest. Because after this, you'll never talk like most men again. Let's go deeper into the hidden communication power most men never discover. What if I told you that every word you speak is either turning her on or turning her off? Not just physically, but psychologically. You are either anchoring her attraction or silently killing it. Communication isn't just talking, it's leadership. Your tone, your rhythm, your eye contact, they're the architecture of desire. Most men use words to explain. Powerful men use words to frame. They frame the moment, her emotions, the future, and even her self-image. Every time you speak, you're setting the tone of how she's allowed to feel around you. That's hidden power. Most men don't even know it exists. Want her addicted to your presence? Then stop reacting to her moods and start commanding the emotional climate. This doesn't mean control. It means leadership. You can speak calmly, but with gravity. You can express warmth, but from a position of solid inner ground. When you talk like this, she doesn't just listen. She feels safe and electrified at the same time. Here's the twist. Even the most dominant woman wants a man who can mentally and emotionally hold her. Not with logic, but with energetic dominance. The kind that only comes when you know what you're about and you speak like it. Want proof? Speak slowly and with certainty next time she tests you. Watch how her eyes shift. Her breath deepens. That's not coincidence. It's biological submission. But it only happens when your words reflect a man who's deeply rooted in who he is. This is dark psychology at its cleanest form. You're not manipulating. You're aligning her with your masculine frequency. Because when your tone says, "I've already won," her feminine melts. She doesn't want to lead. She wants to follow a man worth following. Comment again. I speak power into my relationships. Let it embed deeper into your core, because now we begin. Day 1. Speak to her future self. Today's mission. Stop talking to the woman in front of you and start speaking to the woman she's becoming. The version of her you believe she's capable of being. That's how you bypass her ego and unlock her loyalty. Most men reflect her insecurities. Real men reflect her evolution. You don't say, "You always overreact." You say, "That's not like you. You're too smart for that." See the shift. One weakens her, the other elevates her. Speak to her future self like it's already who she is. Tell her, "You always find a way." You're the kind of woman who makes power look effortless. You were made for more, and you know it. Her subconscious mind absorbs that. And guess what? She starts living into it, and she associates that feeling of growth with you. This is how cult leaders get loyalty. They sell people the future version of themselves. You're not lying. You're leading. And you're leading her into a version of herself she'll never forget and never want to lose. For the next 24 hours, make every sentence you say frame her as powerful, radiant, and rare. Not because she earned it, but because you see it before she does. She'll start looking at you differently because you're not reacting to who she is. You're sculpting who she becomes. That's how kings speak to queens in the making. Let's level it up in day 2. Control the emotional frame. Women don't fall for words. They fall for worlds. And a real man creates a world through how he makes her feel. Today is about one thing: emotional leadership. You walk into the room and she's cold, distant, moody. What do most men do? They react. What's wrong? Are you mad? Did I do something? Instantly fight down. She loses respect. Why? Because she's now leading the emotional frame. You handed her the wheel. Real masculine energy doesn't chase her emotions. It sets the emotional tone. You're not there to fix her feelings. You're there to lead them. Say, "You don't need to tell me what's wrong. Just sit next to me. You're safe here." Or, "Whatever it is, we're bigger than that. I see you." She doesn't want your solutions. She wants your certainty, your stillness, your grounding. And when she feels that, her guard drops. Her desire rises. If you can master this one skill, controlling the emotional climate, she will bond to you like no one before. Because most men are emotional mirrors. Few are emotional anchors. You be the anchor. Comment again below. I speak power into my relationships. Because you're becoming him. Let's go to day 3. Break her pattern. Day 3 is the ultimate test of your new language. Most women get stuck in patterns. Habitual emotional cycles, old defenses, and unconscious games. Your job is to break those patterns, but not with anger or force. You do it with unexpected calm and power. If she's acting distant, don't chase or try to fix. Instead, say something like, "I don't need to understand everything right now. I just want to be with you. No distractions." This kind of response flips the script. She expects drama, confusion, or blame. Instead, you give her peace and space, but on your terms. That creates magnetic tension. She's drawn to the man who doesn't react, who doesn't overinvest emotionally, but who holds her without losing himself. This is the dark psychology of attraction. When you break her emotional pattern, you reset her nervous system. Suddenly, she's curious, engaged, wanting to figure out you, the mystery man who's calm in the storm. Remember, desire thrives on unpredictability within safety. You're not a roller coaster. You're the steady ground beneath it. At this point, if you're feeling this, comment below. I speak power into my relationships. Own it. Tomorrow, we'll dive into a game-changing tool, the power of silence. Silence is your secret weapon. Most men fear it. They panic and fill every gap with words, weak words. But silence is a language of its own. It's the pause that makes her heart race. Use silence after you say something important. Let your words linger like a shadow in the room. Don't rush to explain or soften. Watch how her eyes lock on you, waiting to see what comes next. Silence shows confidence. It says, I'm not desperate for your approval. I'm comfortable with myself. Even when she tests you, throwing questions, provocations, a calm silence can disarm her, make her question her own strategy, and deepen her intrigue. Practice this for 24 hours. Hold space with your presence, not your words. You'll see her energy change. More respect, more tension, more desire. If you're ready to wield silence like a king, drop a comment. I speak power into my relationships. Say it loud in your mind. Next, we're shifting gears to speak to her emotions, not logic. Logic is the enemy of desire. When you try to reason with a woman, especially in sensitive moments, you're losing. The feminine responds to emotion, not facts. Replace your why and how questions with statements that validate her feelings but keep your frame strong. For example, instead of, why are you upset? Say, I can feel something's off. I'm here with you. By acknowledging her emotions without trying to fix or debate them, you create emotional safety. But your tone must stay firm, calm, not passive. This contrast creates attraction. She feels understood, but also knows you won't be dragged into drama. This is mastery. You're not her therapist or friend. You're her emotional leader. Try this today and notice the shift. Reminder. If this resonates, comment below. I speak power into my relationships. Now let's step into create desire through storytelling. Stories are emotional hooks. The way you talk about your life, your vision, your past, even your mistakes, can ignite desire. But only if you speak with authenticity and vulnerability wrapped in strength. Don't brag. Instead, narrate moments where you overcame adversity, stayed true to yourself, or showed rare courage. Let her see your depth and your future potential. For example, I remember when I was ready to give up, but something inside me told me to keep pushing. That fire hasn't gone out. I want you to see that fire too. Stories create a shared emotional space. They pull her closer, not with manipulation, but with raw human connection that few men dare to show. Use stories that inspire. Make her feel like she's part of your journey, not just a bystander. Want to start mastering this? Say it now in the comments. I speak power into my relationships. Next, use strategic compliments. Not all compliments are equal. Weak compliments sound needy. Strategic compliments are like rare gifts, given sparingly, with intent, and always tied to her essence or potential. Forget surface-level praise like, you look nice. Instead say, you have this energy that makes everything feel alive. Or, the way you see the world is unlike anyone else I know. These kinds of compliments awaken her deepest pride and make her feel seen. She'll start craving that feeling and associate it with you. Remember, your voice is your tool. Deliver compliments slowly, with certainty, not as a question or afterthought. If you want to be a man who empowers her with words, comment below. I speak power into my relationships. Finally, let's wrap it up with the ultimate mindset. No technique works without the right mindset. If you talk like a man who's begging or insecure, the smartest words won't save you. Your inner belief fuels your words, tone, and presence. Every day, remind yourself, I am the prize. My value is non-negotiable. I don't need her approval to feel whole. I speak power into my relationships and into myself. When you embody this mindset, your communication transforms naturally. You speak from abundance, not scarcity. from confidence, not fear. This is the man she wants. The man no woman forgets. If you've been following this, I want you to comment one last time. I speak power into my relationships. Say it loud, own it fully. If you're ready to step into your power and never lose her attraction again, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful lessons right here on Motivate Blessing. Remember, a few days of this language shift can change everything. The woman you want will never be the same, and neither will you.